So we just got home from the Amish auction. I got 24 quarts of strawberries and I plan on making some rhubarb and strawberry jam from some of it, maybe some regular strawberry jam, and then cutting some up for the freeze dryer too. I paid $4.50 a quart, and I believe these are at least mostly organic. They tend not to use a ton of pesticides and herbicides and all that stuff on a lot of these in the area. And honestly, like, if you've ever had locally grown strawberries or ones that you've grown yourself and compare them to the grocery store, there's just like no comparison. Like, there's actual sweetness and flavor in here. And then if you go get stuff from like Aldi, which is where we usually buy ours, it's just night and day difference. It's so good. And so I'm just gonna have a lot of work cut out for me. If you can see how much strawberries are in here, it's a lot. And we went through 2 quarts already just from snacking, and I gave one to my aunt too. So I have a lot of work to get done. So I sliced up all of these strawberries and I placed them onto this baking sheet so that I can individually freeze them in our deep freezer for about maybe 1 to 2 hours. Then I'll throw them in a Ziploc bag so that they are ready to go in the freeze dryer. I haven't quite prepped the freeze dryer yet. We just got it in. So I probably won't get to this for another week or so, but I want to be able to have some freeze dried strawberries, especially these are at like peak ripeness. I think they're gonna be so delicious freeze dried. And so I'm really excited to give them a shot. Good morning to everyone except for Mother Nature, who decided to rain for the next 3 days. So I got up around 5:30 to just get my coffee going, do a little bit of prayer, read my Bible, and now I'm going to attempt to plant some stuff in the rain. I really want to try and get some stuff done before the kids get up, because I know they're not going to want to come out and play in the rain much with me, and I really need to get this stuff planted before we leave in a couple of days to go down back to my hometown. And I don't want this stuff sitting unplanted, and I just obviously want it to grow more. So we're gonna get that done. I'm gonna try and film as much as I can with it still raining, but we're gonna make the best of it. Cheers. We are always weeding around here. It's like a theme of my channel if you guys haven't followed for very long. Weeds are just forever. I'm gonna plant some basil right here. I figure it can get nice and big and bushy next to this cabbage. Alright, so I just came inside from doing about half hour of planting. It rained the entire time. I almost didn't go back out there because after I moved all of the plants to the garden area, it started like downpouring. So I waited out like 10 minutes. I started chopping some strawberries, and then I looked that it had lightened up, but oh my gosh. This is going to be a hard couple of days trying to get these plants in the ground, but I got a lot of them in. I got my serrano peppers that I had bought. I bought some hot banana peppers, a habanero pepper, some celery, and some Brussels sprouts. I got all of those in the ground, a little bit of basil too, and I got such a deal on those. Ace Hardware was clearancing out a ton of their stuff, especially their herbs, a few of their peppers, which I got, and I paid like 75 cents for 4 packs for a lot of the peppers, and then some of the herbs, I want to say I paid like maybe 60 cents for. It was a real deal. And then when we went to the Amish auction on the way, we stopped at a greenhouse and they had all of their stuff for 25 cents. So I got celery for 25 cents each, Brussels sprouts for 25 cents each. I mean, we just like made out this weekend. It is amazing. Like after Memorial Day around here, everything just starts to be clearanced out because they assume that people have planted kind of what they're going to plant. And for the most part, I have, but I'm always willing to throw more if I have space in there. I still have to get the watermelon in. I have to get in my tomatillos, which I'm very excited about. My aunt gave me some. I have had a hard time finding them around here. When I used to live in the city, I think it was just more popular around there and I didn't really have as much of a problem, but I love salsa verde. So I'm really excited to have like quite a few plants of those. So shout out to you, Aunt Laura. Thank you. And then, so I'm going to also have to run to the home improvement store today, get some soil for my herb garden. I'm going to put a lot of my herbs on my back porch and put a lot of them out there. I'm going to put some in my green stalk. I have yet to plant my green stalk. That thing has like 42 different slots to plant in. I honestly don't know what I'm going to fill in there yet besides some herbs. And then I'm going to also throw some herbs in the garden. So I'm going to have a little bit of mixture just to kind of see how things grow in different places. So I'll keep you guys updated on that throughout the summer. In the meantime, my kids are still sleeping. They didn't go to bed till 11. We had a travel day yesterday, and always on travel days, especially if they hit the nap time at a really weird spot, which they did. They were like napping still when I got home at 5. It like all bets are off for like a good sleep time. So I'm hoping that they stay asleep a little bit longer. It is 7:30 and it's kind of gloomy out, so it's not too bright out. I think I could maybe push it till 8:30 that they might still sleep. So I'm gonna try and get as much done as I can for this jam, maybe make myself some breakfast, and we're just gonna keep going throughout the day. Okay, so we just pulled up to 2 cheese days in our area, and we've never been before. Obviously, we just moved to the area like 6 months ago, and they have a parade for the kids, some like tractor pulling, a bunch of activities. I'm really excited. I'm hoping that the rain lets up a little bit more. It is still raining a bit, but not too bad, and hopefully we can still have some fun. So let's go. Handmade head orange for me.
No.
Can you share another color preference?
I like French fries.
Hey friends, so I just got home from church a little bit ago and we ate some lunch after stopping for a little bit of ice cream. It's usually like kind of the reward through getting through church, because with a 3 and 1 year old, it is definitely really tough, especially in the Orthodox tradition. Kids stay in church the entire time. So it's like an hour and a half of trying to keep the kids entertained. We never make it through service. So, you know, eventually we will. Our kids will get old enough, they'll sit still, but we're just not at that stage right now. I make my first cup of coffee because we traditionally don't have caffeine before church on Sundays. So I'm going to savor this cup because I definitely need it. And I honestly don't drink a lot of caffeine being pregnant. I do a lot of decaf. I did kind of a half and half mixture here. But this is like my first pregnancy where I've been really successful with giving it up. The other two, it's been kind of hit or miss. I was planning on doing all of my jam canning this afternoon. However, I just went into the garage where I thought my canner was. If you're new here, we just moved 6 months ago and I haven't taken it out of the garage yet where we kind of put a lot of our stuff because we just haven't needed it yet. My husband rearranged the entire garage to kind of clean it out and make it so I could pull in to the garage while he was gone. However, that means that I have no idea where my canner is. So I need to go through like 20 boxes and trying to figure out where it is. So hopefully I can find it tonight. If not, maybe I'll be bringing these strawberries down to my mom's when I go down there this week, and we'll just be canning some jam when I'm there. I don't know. Or I'll just freeze it for whenever I can find the time. So that's what we're going to be doing. Oh, and I picked out a bunch of really good jam recipes from the Pomona's Pectin jam book. Now, if you haven't had Pomona's Pectin, I really love them because they have a lot of options for 0 sugar jams, which is really nice for me because I kind of like feel like fruit is really sweet enough. Most of the time, you don't need to add additional sweetener. I am going to follow some of the recipes that they have here that do add some sweetener just to give it a shot, and then I'll kind of know on the next years of like where it can maybe cut sugar and or just kind of change them up. But there's one that's a strawberry balsamic jam that sounds so good, and I'm really excited to try that one. I love kind of like the different flavors that you can make, and there's also one that I'll do on a different video, but it is a ginger vanilla rhubarb jam. I have tons of rhubarb out there. Sounds delicious, and I'm definitely gonna make it this summer. So let's go get everything done. Sounds right. I am starting to clean out my car a little bit. I have really tried to, like, once a month at least, try to clean out my car because it gets disastrous, like, really quickly with kids and myself, frankly, because I'm just, like, not good about taking things in, and, like, I am just naturally not a clean person. So we're gonna just start to clean my car a little bit and see how far we can get. I might need to take it to an actual, like, car wash and get like one of those nice vacuum cleaners, but I do have the Milwaukee Tool portable vac, which is really nice because it's battery operated. I don't have to hook it up. Good morning. It is Monday morning and it's kind of a late morning. I guess it's almost 10:15 here. So we got up pretty late, around 8. I actually had like the best ambition to get up at 5. And my kids actually went to bed early for their standards. However, my son was up for like 2 hours last night from like 2 to 4, and there's no way I was getting up at 5. So slept in, and we're just gonna pretty much stay at home today and clean. Usually Monday is my deep clean kitchen day, and it definitely needs it, especially after canning yesterday. I'm hoping to still can some more today because I need to get to those strawberries before they go bad. And honestly, I just want to like clean this entire house, especially before we leave in a few days, so that I can come back to a clean house. I'm definitely going to enlist the kids with the toys. I already did this morning before I let my oldest watch a little bit of TV. I've definitely been trying to kind of set those boundaries. It's hard. I'm like a learning experience, right? Like, okay, no, we need to have a clean space before we can do like other things. And like, I personally struggle with that myself as an adult. So like, it's for me trying to like have good habits to show them. And you know, that's just a struggle in general. And if you can relate, let me know. But yeah, we are just going to kind of have a chill day here. I'm hoping maybe to get out into the garden and get those tomatillos planted. I think I have an idea of where I might want to put them. Ideally, yeah, I don't know, but it's gonna rain this afternoon, so I'm not sure I'm gonna get out before it rains, but definitely before Wednesday I want to get them in the ground so that we can make sure that they actually maybe get a harvest by the end of the year. I also still very much need to do my squash and my carrots, and I have a ton of weeding to do. I don't know when I'm gonna get all this garden stuff done. SOS. So, but I guess we'll focus on the house this morning, and we'll just get some stuff done. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is the way I spent my morning was on the phone with insurance. So we had another, like, I don't know, if you're in the military, you know, like if you have certain different orders, like stuff switches. So we're all trying to figure out how to switch stuff over. And of course, TRICARE doesn't have it. And then I also got a bill from an office visit for like normal pediatrician care, like typical stuff for one of my kids. And I've never seen a bill for TRICARE, which I will say they could be a pain to deal with, but they have really good coverage. So I was really confused. And the doctor's office didn't, even though they had our insurance on file, did not bill our insurance. So I had to talk to them, get that all sorted out this morning. So I am over insurance this morning, but I am grateful to have it. So, you know, I try not to complain about those things, but it can feel like such a hassle when it's like, can't this be a little bit easier? Who knows? How cute are these mini Pyrex casserole dishes? I got them for like 50 cents at a thrift store, and I feel like that was the best kind of thrift I've ever gotten, because these are like actual Corningware, and what a good. Keep these, but I don't really know like or have a use for them, so I'm gonna put them in my pantry for now. But I don't know, I feel like they kind of would go to waste if I just like toss them. I could probably put our produce from the garden in it, or maybe someone local could use them if they needed them. I feel like I hold on to things that I could probably toss, but that's just my personality. So they all sealed. That's why I love 4 jars. And I'm gonna find a permanent marker and make sure to mark these. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. So day before we leave to go back to my hometown, which is like 5-hour drive. I am just making up some breakfast. I'm trying to use these potatoes. They're looking a little sad. And today I feel like it's crunch time to get a lot of this stuff that we need to get done. I'm not leaving probably until like early afternoon, maybe tomorrow. So I have a little bit of time in the morning, but like I would like to try and get stuff done today if I can. I feel like high priority on the list is getting those tomatillos in the ground. I know I keep talking about them, but I did get my herbs done yesterday, which was really nice. So those are in. The only thing I actually don't have, which is probably the thing that I want the most, is my basil. So I'm probably going to put those actually in the garden itself instead of in like separate herb pots. I'll probably get maybe one herb pot to throw on the balcony just so I can like quick grab it if I'm making something. But I think I'm going to put some of the basil in the ground so that it has a chance to get like really big. Because I know like it can get really big and bushy if you really give it an opportunity to. So I think that's where I'm going to put most of it. I just have to find a space in the garden like everything else. I mean, like there's definitely spaces, but they have to be cleared out. And being 6 months pregnant and having 2 toddlers, it's just kind of a lot to try and do. So I'm just trying to do what I can. I might get some grow bags to maybe make my life a little easier on some things. But if I think I have a spot where I can put the tomatillos directly in the ground where I have like, I have a raised bed area. And then if you guys have been watching, like I also have where the potatoes and garlic are. And I think that's where I'm going to put some of the squash too. Which that's also, I would like to maybe, I have so much on my list. I would like to get the carrots in too and the squash before I go, especially like it's going to rain for 2 days after I leave. And that's going to be really nice for carrots. However, I don't really have like a bed cleared for them. So I don't know yet. We'll have to figure it out. I mean, this is definitely a learning season for us, homesteading being our first year. Like I have gardened before, but nothing like to this size and extent or on my own. So, you know, I feel like you just kind of have to take everything, you know, day by day, do what you can, and, you know, whatever you can't, like, that's just not meant to be. And, you know, I can always buy produce too, like in bulk, like I did with the strawberries. Like, we don't have strawberries this year. But I was able to buy like a ton and for a decent price, I think, and especially for like homemade or like homegrown ones, we still made some really good jam. So, and I also have to make jam before we go. It's going to be, I think, a busy day. I should really probably just get started with everything, but I don't know. We've been really enjoying our slow mornings lately. So I did try to get up at 5, but it just, I'm just not in the season of getting up at 5, I think, and that's okay. I think, you know, there's definitely like different seasons that come and go that you're able to do some of those things, and that's just not one of them right now. So I'm gonna make some breakfast and we'll get started with the tasks for the day. Whoa! Okay, so I have Hello, good morning. It is Wednesday. I am trying to get this jam. This one of these last. Here, Maeve. Here's your cheese. Hi. Cheese. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to get the second to last batch of jam done. I think I'm gonna have to put the rest of the strawberries in the freezer, but I honestly did a really good job of getting through almost all of it. So I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as I can. Yeah, this is balsamic jam, and I have a lot of strawberry pulp left from it because it actually only uses the juice, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I need to do with that. But I want to get this done at 7:56. I would like to leave by 1 or 2. I have a 5-hour drive, so I'm really hoping the kids don't nap at a bad time, but it's just, that is like travel days. I swear it's gonna be like a nightmare going to bed tonight. But they actually went to bed pretty early last night, and I was hoping to get up early again. 4 teaspoons, so I need 8 teaspoons. I was hoping to get up early, and my dog woke me up at 4 to go outside. However, I feel like that was like, I probably should have just stayed up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, after all that work, I don't want to have the wrong measurements here. So, yeah, I should have just stayed up and then just like lost an hour of sleep. Then I just went back to bed, and I could not get myself to like get out of bed. So we got up around like 6:30, which is fine. But I was really hoping to get out in the garden and do some weeding. But I'm just gonna have to do that when I get back. Okay, so balsamic vinegar. So I need to add half a cup of balsamic vinegar. And then my canner is ready to add this once the jam is ready. Half a cup. I'm really excited to try this. The rhubarb one that I made yesterday was so good. I think I'm going to have oatmeal with peanut butter and rhubarb jam on it this morning, because I had one that didn't seal, and I think that was user error. And so I'm going to make that this morning. I feel like I am so like off book on any other recipe. I'm always like, I just kind of like eyeball things, and I'm like, okay, more cheese. I eyeball things, and I'm like, oh, this will be good enough. With canning, you can't do that. You have to be pretty exact, or like it could not be good. So I try to make sure that I follow that really well. Okay, so I need to do 2 cups of sugar and 8 teaspoons of pectin powder. I'm probably gonna have to open up another pectin powder. Poppy. Okay. So I will just bring you guys back after I've made the jam, so you don't have to watch me scramble all over the kitchen, and hopefully I can clean up some of this mess. I would like to have at least a spotless kitchen before I leave. I like to try to leave that nice and clean so that I don't come back to like an overwhelming kitchen, because and also like, I don't want to leave all that stuff out while we're gone. So that's kind of the plan this morning, and then hopefully I can do like some last minute planting before we leave, and then we're getting to hit the road, so. So we have like 3 hours left in our trip. I just got a coffee. Weirdly, Duncan can't do half calf, but I've definitely ordered it before, so I don't know. I ended up getting caffeinated because, again, 3 hours, and I'm so tired of driving already. And my son has movie cars. If you guys have seen the Cars movie, big fan. I just stopped and picked up this barn board. I'll try and show you guys. My mom and my aunt do these like barn board classes, and so I picked up a board for her because she has a class next week for my aunt And pro tip, before we left, we stopped at a Chinese buffet. That is like the best place to take your toddlers if you're trying to eat out in this economy, because it was like $15. There is no way. I just spent $10 with my coffee and 2 milks at Dunkin'. There's just like no way that we're eating fast food for anything under $15 out when I'm getting 2 kids meals and an adult meal. So like that's my biggest tip. And like my son loves going in restaurants right now, and it's like it's kind of like a nice training way to go into a restaurant, because I feel like it's low stakes. Yeah, we're gonna go to Nana's. It's low stakes. There's like not a lot of, especially if you go during lunch, there's not a lot of people like eating there that are feeling like you're interrupting anything, and you get the food right away. It gets them focused on stuff. So that is my pro tip. Try going to a Chinese buffet if you're trying to eat out on a budget. All right, let's keep driving.